Welcome back to Project 94 for another diecast review on the channel, and pardon the Kyle Busch box right there. This is definitely not a Kyle Busch diecast we're taking a look at here. Today we're going to be taking a look at John Andretti and his 2001 Cheerios Dodge for Richard Petty Motorsports. Now this one here is a really cool classic from the Hot Wheels era, as you can tell. Dodge! We got a Dodge diecast here today to review, and it's really exciting because this is one of the cooler castings of the original NASCARs, the Gen 4 cars, which are really cool looking diecasts. This one here is no different at all. Just a beautiful looking car, and as I show you guys around, just what these cars used to be like. How exciting is it to have a John Andretti diecast in this studio here? But unfortunately, we lost him. He had passed away a couple years ago, which is really unfortunate because he actually was a significant person in the motorsports world outside of just driving the 43 car. Us NASCAR fans just know him for being the 43, but man, we know there's a lot more to the man than the machine that he drives, which was John Andretti. So I would have kept this car in the package had the box been in better shape, but it was dirty and it was rusty, and I didn't want the car to just sit in there. So, yeah, now it's out in the loose, but it's been very well protected. As you could tell, you can't even tell that it's been loose for a while, because this thing is in such fantastic shape that it's unbelievable. Just the automotive clear coat, just a beautifully done diecast, man. And you guys have probably been waiting for this one to come, and here it is, man. I was just a little off on when maybe this review would come out. I was a little not so optimistic. I thought I had to push this video off, but thankfully we were able to get it in for you guys. So of course you got the Dodge Intrepid front end, the Dodge RT. A little bit small on the headlights, but man, you know what? I'll take it. This is better than anything Lionel can give you nowadays, but very, very cool. You got Cheerios, Betty Crocker right there on the hood. No name rails because this is the original era. That all black of where the little front hood vents and all that would be at. And of course you got 76 NASCAR X-Side and of course select batteries. It looks like that says Moog. And let's see what that says. Plastic. Man, I can't even read that. You got, looks like crane cars. I'm really not sure of what that says. These are small. Mac Tools and a JE sponsor. Blue Goodyear. A little small on the Goodyear, but it's there. You have EA Sports. Gatorade, the Goodyear Blimp decal. You got Autometer, Spicer, Bowman, True Value, Prestone. Let's see. Goodies, Clevite, Ray Bestis, Holly, Edelbrock, Jessel, and Arrowquip. It looks like that's what that says. No Winston Cup logo, because you can't have that on a kid's toy. Even though this is far from. Let's see, you got NASCAR race car right there. John Andretti, and this camera will focus on the others. That would be good. You have Dodge, Hot Wheels, what does that say? Sprint, Spirit. It's that sponsor that was on the 45. Got Coca-Cola, number 43. Bisquick, Red Wing Shoes. Let's see, Ferguson. Let's see the other ones. We Care. Just a lot of contingencies. This thing is fully funded right here, folks. Let's see. Autolite Dodge, and R logo with a little slash through it. Cater. What does that say? ESAB. I'm not even going to begin to pronounce that. Norton down there. RM, it looks like. Just kind of too small on the decals here for me to read a lot of them. You have Roll-Ups, Pop Secret, Hamburger Helper, and Sprint. There you go. That's the logo that's underneath the Hot Wheels Sprint. Got the blue Goodyears, which is really cool. Colored wheels. The Goodyear number 1s. Very retro right there. Very, very nice. Of course, the taillights are a little bit chopped up by the spoiler, but that should all be good. Number 43 is crushed by that little screw sticking out of the spoiler. And of course, you got the Hamburger Helper little hand right there. Cheerios, Dodge RT checks on the deck lid right there, which is another cereal. And of course, you got the number 43. So the General Mills brands seem to be what's on this because it's Cheerios. And of course, they're kind of related. So let's take a look at everything on this car in terms of the paint scheme. So it's going to have a black valence right there. And of course, the spoiler is going to be yellow. So for once, we have a colored in spoiler. Dark blue outline and a white number fill-in. And of course, on the door, you have the more of the Eric Jones, Eric Almirola, just the normal 43, which is really a standard for the color schemes of any of them, 43 cars. The blue shadow and the white number fill-in. Of course, the blue is darker up here than it is on the side. Really cool that, like, they have a circle of where STP would be at, but instead of putting STP with the blue outline, the white outline, and the circle fill-in being the red, which is the red-orange, which is kind of their logo type. They actually went and they put the 43 where that would be at, which is really cool. Kind of a cool retro feature, which they still did that today. It still makes the 43 visible from the top. And on the front of the car, you're going to have the blue lip in the front, and of course another dark blue lip with a white backdrop behind it. And of course you're going to have the yellow. And by the way, this grille here is actually 3D. This grille opening actually is functional, which is really cool. And of course, the yellow is going to wrap around the front here, all around the hood, and all around the front fenders. And of course, it's going to bring along a red outline with a dark kind of outline behind it. And of course, you get the white and blue pattern of the stripes. Of course, the blue being the thickest stripes, swooshing around the 43. The yellow comes around with it. And of course, the red also wraps around with it. Really, really clean design. The yellow sticks on there. Just a classic, a true classic for John Andretti, of course. The Cheerios paint scheme has always been good for him, but man, this one's cool. And of course, the blue rims on there. His SDP car was also nice and also had blue rims as far back as I remember. I wasn't alive back in these days. I just watched a lot of 2001 NASCAR stuff as of recently. And this is one of the schemes that I liked from it. This is a cool scheme, man. And of course, the back of it, the back portion's yellow with the yellow spoiler and the yellow deck lid. Really cool, and the blue stays on the bumper right there. Just a petty blue paint with that automotive clear coat. Just take a look at that clear coat, and then let me pull out, let's bust out a next-gen car. And here we go. Old school NASCAR fans comparing the new to the old and saying how good this all used to be. It's because it's true. I mean, look at the quality. The massive difference in the amount of clear coat. You can see, like, this clear coat, it's on there, but it does not feel as good as this. This feels thick. It's going to stay on there for years and years and years. There's people that have had these cars in their collections for like 20 years, and they still look this good. Like the racing champions, obviously, were lower in quality, but as I run my finger across this one, you can barely feel which decals are different from each other. Just, it's all like it's painted on there, and it's all one, feels like one print. But just the level of clear coat, just the level of quality and care put into this product. You barely have anything wrong with it, as far as I can tell. There's nothing wrong at all with this car. Man, this thing's just well put together. Of course, a lot more 3D on the windows. These are just like literally flat decals. I mean, look at the quality difference. Rubber wheels, and this still feels like it's plastic for this particular car. But the rubber wheels on there, this is how these cars, it's just how it should be. But just comparing it, and here's the bottom of it. Yeah, some of the cars still had plastic, but sometimes they were metal. Just depended on the occasion and what diecast it was. But just rubber wheels, and of course a separate plastic. This is almost the type of car we get nowadays with the metal chassis 164s. Where they just give you rubber tires and this plastic chassis. Except this was literally less money. It is literally a similar type of diecast and is somehow better quality. I mean, the way it rolls too. I mean, you can't tell me that this car is not a good put together diecast. Because this is a fantastic quality car right here. And even with the white roll cage, it's still just a well put together car. Sometimes we even get colored roll cages if you're really lucky. But this one here, just beautifully put together car. Higher quality than the Lionels of the modern era. As you can tell, very much different in the way they are assembled. Yeah, just a beautiful car, man. The Hot Wheels NASCARs, these are the way to go. If you're going to collect NASCAR diecasts, I suggest you get the old ones. If you're a newcomer to the diecast collecting, these are going to be your best bet. Like these old school Hot Wheels NASCARs, because these are as good as they have been. Really, really nice. Of course, kind of nostalgic to see EA Sports on there. You see nothing on these cars with Motorsport Games. That company is not even in good shape. You never had... I mean, 704 did put the Heat logos on the 2019 cars for the Pro League competitions. But just to have a good NASCAR game with EA making it back in the day and having their logo on the cars, really cool. Of course, EA is really not the same anymore. But look at that. You got a red number on the headlight and a red number on the taillight. Forgot to point that out. Now I did. But just a beautiful car. Just look at the clear coat. I must emphasize this during the 360 view. Check out and just a beautiful shape of the Gen 4. I mean, yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? I was about to say this car has no hips. It has hips on there. Look at that. And I don't know if this is when they started skewing the cars, but it kind of looks alright. There's the modern day hips and the old school. Just the body shape of it is just beautiful, man. These Gen 4 cars. I know the next gen's a bit more bulkier, but it looks like we're trying our best to start getting back to the old school style, which I really kind of like. You know? Just beautiful, man. Just an unreal... I mean, the Dodge casting already was beautiful as is, so the Intrepid was just an extremely exotic four-door sedan back in the day. It looks like it's a Lamborghini with 4 doors, and it's just super aerodynamic and clean. And they actually did that to their street cars to make the NASCARs better race cars. And it actually worked. Look how beautiful, man. And it actually ran well, too. When Dodge came back to NASCAR, they were not joking around. They were going to get to a point where they're going to become really good drivers, really good manufacturer to come back to NASCAR. And, of course, seeing this Dodge number 43, man. They went from the Pontiac to the Dodge Intrepid. So, just a beautiful car. Of course, after watching some 2001 NASCAR highlights and having this car in it, is really, really cool. Check out Brockbeard on YouTube. I believe that's his name. I saw this car. Plenty of it. I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful diecast here. So, Cheerios! Would love to see Cheerios come back and sponsor, or General Mills to come support Kyle Busch so he can get, like, some cereal type of cars again. Because RCR would definitely be the one to do that. But, you know, John Andretti, very cool diecast. Let's check it for Andretti. I might even put the hashtag on the description for this one. Legacy Motorsports. That's going to be the name of the team now, so that's kind of different. Just kind of takes you back to a time. It's a time capsule, some of these cars, but thank you all for checking out this diecast review. Comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next diecast review. And always remember to make sure you know what you're doing when you're putting decals in your diecast, and go look for some of these Hot Wheels cars, man. I mean, if you can find them, pick them up.